Can't find the buttons. Turn this thing on. Somewhere back there. Tiny little button. There it is. Yay! Spooky! Uh-oh. Ha! Did I break it? I was just trying to push it, turn it off. I didn't break it. Turn it off. Off. There we go. Hey everyone, welcome to another What Are You Playing? It's still Spooktober. Technically this is going to go up in October, but I just want to warn everybody, I love Halloween a lot. I mean, obviously. And I love Spooktober. I love playing scary games. So I'm going to continue into November and still call it Spooktober. So don't be like, hey man, it's not Halloween anymore. Have some, I don't know, Thanksgiving themed games. No, it's still Halloween in my heart, in my household, in my video game consoles. So there's that. All right, so what am I playing this week? Well, one old thing, actually two old things, and then a couple of new things. So let's get into it. Let's first of all talk about the old thing that is the big thing that I'm still playing, Dead Space, which is still part of Spooktober. This is the Dead Space Remastered. Again, I am playing it on the PlayStation 5, which, as I mentioned last time, I'm a little bit regretful of having the PlayStation 5 version, simply because it has a lot of upscaling artifacts that the other versions apparently don't have as severely as the PlayStation 5 version does. All that being said, I'm still really enjoying it. The artifacting can get, at times it's inoffensive and you barely notice it. At other times it is really in your face and it's the only thing you notice. For example, there's a section in the game where you go into like a server room with a bunch of computer screens, and the computer screens have like text that's kind of scrolling down that's vaguely supposed to be, I don't know, Matrix looking. In that particular scene, the artifacting on the screens is just horrendous, and it's to the point where it almost becomes too messy. It's too difficult to kind of pick out what's going on in the scene. The artifacting is so bad. But, you know, technical issues aside, this is still Dead Space. The original game was a great game. This remastered is still a great game, and I am having a lot of fun. I'm not going to say that I'm not enjoying myself. I also wouldn't say that I don't recommend it, because I certainly do recommend it. It is a very good remaster. It's a very good port of the original game, and honestly, it's the best way to play this 13-year-old game if you want to play it today. But, you know, like I said, I would probably avoid getting the PlayStation 5 version. Maybe pick it up on PC, maybe pick up the Xbox Series X version. But the PlayStation 5 version, if you do go into it, know that the PlayStation 5 version has some technical issues with the artifacting, with your upscaling. As far as where I am in the game, I believe last night I made it to Chapter 8. I think there's like a dozen chapters in the game. So, obviously I'm in the latter half of the game, and I'm probably going to round it out this week. So, you know, next week, if I do mention it again, it might be just to say that I finished it. But, you know, I know that I'm coming close to the end. I will say this. The last time that I played it, I don't recall doing much by way of the side activities, like the side quests that are available in the game. I don't remember if it had proper tracking of optional abilities or optional quests like it does in this game. In this game, you can go in and select. You can say, hey, here's this optional side quest, make it my main quest and show me where to go for it. I don't recall if the original game allowed you to do that. But if it did, I certainly didn't take advantage of it. But I am certainly taking advantage of it in this one. I am doing my best to go and get all of the side content. And honestly, some of that side content is pretty interesting stuff. A couple of really interesting side quests that, I don't remember encountering the first time. I'm sure they were there, but, for whatever reason, I just didn't do them. Admittedly, my memory is not what it used to be, and this is a 13-year-old game, and I haven't played it probably in a decade, so, let's be realistic with our assessment. It could just be that my memory is really, really shitty, and that this stuff was all present in the original game. I don't know. Anyway, I am enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I don't really know what else to say. Dead Space Remaster. It's a good game. All right. So the next one that I've been playing since I finished... Well, what did I finish? I was playing... it's Signalis. Oh my gosh. How could I forget Signalis? But because I finished Signalis, my Switch was available, and I picked another Switch game to play, Source of Madness. Now, what is this game? This is an interesting one. So this is a roguelite in a lot of ways. It's a side-scrolling platformer roguelite with some... I don't really want to say that it's Souls-like combat, because that's kind of overselling what it is. It definitely has Souls inspiration in its combat, but its combat is really rudimentary. And it's not the most complicated combat that there is. If you go into it expecting to encounter like big, rich combat system, something you might encounter in Souls games, you will be disappointed, because it is absolutely not that. But the central gimmick of this game is that the world itself and the enemies themselves are all powered by procedural generation and AI machine learning, meaning that every single time you go into the game and you start a new run, the enemies are going to be generated supposedly by AI. And, they're going to be given limbs, they're going to be given different weaknesses and different abilities and different strengths, and it's all going to be designed by AI. The end result is that the enemy design can be, sometimes it can be really Lovecraftian and really ingenious, and other times it's like Cronenbergian in terms of something that is just so hopelessly and horribly malformed that there's no way it could possibly survive on its own, and it's just begging to be destroyed. In addition to that, the AI generation extends into the cutscenes. It's got it's got more than a couple. It's got quite a few cutscenes that are basically just straight up AI-generated cutscenes. And, obviously, a lot of the backgrounds, a lot of the textures are also generated by AI. And as far as, all that is concerned, it is pretty interesting to see what AI-generated content can be done in a video game under the right hands, because I would say that Source of Madness is a pretty fun game. It's not a great game. You're certainly going to encounter a lot of really cheap deaths due to procedural generation gone awry, but what is there is actually pretty fun, and I do enjoy it. And it also doesn't feel like something that's like, oh, this is just filled with AI generated crap and thus it's crap. No, it's lovingly created, and it definitely has a lot of merit in spite of the fact that it is generated by AI. Is this a preview of things to come? I don't know. I think as soon as you put this in the hands of big video game studios, it's probably going to be used for ill. I mean, all you got to do is take a look at the recent Grand Theft Auto remaster and how they used AI upscaling to upscale the artwork to see just how badly that can go. But in the hands of like an independent creator doing something unique and interesting, AI generated content can really, really work. And Source of Madness is a great example of this. But what is the game? It's, like I said, it's a side-scrolling platformer, roguelite, procedurally generated levels, and you are an acolyte of some strange cult. You're going out into the world to what? Destroy the Lovecraftian horrors that have overrun this ever-changing world. There's some other story elements to it, but, to be perfectly honest, they're confusing and intentionally confusing. So, unless you really want to get into the lore and you really want to do like a deep dive into it, don't worry too much about it. You don't really need it. It's just a window dressing on a video game framework. You don't necessarily need to see the story and understand it to appreciate it. But it's a fun game, and I am enjoying it. It also very much fits into Spooktober. This is a game that I actually tried to pick up a few months ago. I think if you were to go back to an earlier what are you playing video, you'll actually see me check it out and then put it back on the shelf because I wasn't in the mood. I'm now obviously in the mood. But it is a good game, and I'm enjoying it. It's available for all sorts of different platforms. I'm not sure I would say that the Switch is the best platform to experience it on. The Switch being a fairly underpowered piece of hardware, it can really chug. It can really slow down. There are boss battles that have had in the game that were, had really terrible frame rates in them. I would say probably almost any other platform would probably be the better platform to play it on. But I had it physically for the Switch because, it was released through Super Rare Games special limited physical editions. So that's what I'm playing. I do also have, as an aside, I purchased it from Super Rare Games, another limited physical edition for the PlayStation 5. I got shipping notification this morning. So it'll be in one of my mail sack videos in the future when it finally does get here. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I have a feeling that I'm very close to the end. I've made it to a really difficult boss that feels very much like it's the end of the game, but I haven't beaten it yet. I have a feeling that I'll probably wrap it up this week. But yeah, for now, I'm enjoying it. Source of Madness for the Nintendo Switch. It's also for other platforms. Check it out if you're at all interested in seeing what good AI generation in video games can look like. All right, so the last two games, these are not Spooktober games. The first one is Rungore. I'm playing this on Steam. Now, Rungore it's a card battler. It's also a roguelite. Every single run is different. The procedural generation isn't that great. You basically are just running along on these looping backgrounds, fighting the same enemies over and over again. So, it's kind of... You don't really want to say that this is something that necessarily has a lot of procedural level generation, because it really doesn't. But as you run along, you will get various random drops of cards. Those cards can be used in battles with future enemies. And yeah, it's just this crazy game where your character's constantly running through dungeons or villages or sewers or graveyards or whatever he's running through at the moment, fighting enemies using cards. I'm really enjoying it. It's very addictive and very fun. It's, like I said, it's on Steam. It does play on the Steam Deck, but it uses the Steam Deck touchpads because it has no controller support. If I had one wish, I would really love to see a controller support added to this in the future so that it would be a more comfortable experience on the Steam Deck. I feel like this game really would fit the portable environment very, very well if it weren't for the controls. Again, it's playable as it is right now, but it's not the most comfortable thing. Proper controller support really would make it ideal, playing it in a mobile way. But it's a fun game, and it's not terribly expensive. I think it might even be in early access. I don't know. But if you haven't heard about it, check it out. It's fun. I don't know what else to say. Rungore. All right, the last game, and this is going to be a surprise to no one, is Vampire Survivors. I'm still playing this on the Switch. Again, I'm a big fan of Vampire Survivors. I've played it on PC multiple times. I played it on the Xbox, unlocked everything on both of those, and I now am playing it again on the Switch and unlocking everything. And that's really the main thing that I'm doing on it, is just, going through the motion of unlocking all this stuff. It just so happens that going through the motion is really, really fun in Vampire Survivors, and I definitely don't regret playing it again. I don't need to talk about it anymore. I've mentioned it before. If you don't know what it is, I'm sure I've got a video of it playing right now, but it's a little auto-battler roguelite with crazy over-the-top weapons that just scale up into monstrously insane spectacles with lots of different characters, lots of different weapons, and lots of different areas. And it's fun. I love it. I keep replaying it. Vampire Survivors. It's a lot of fun. This is... I don't know how the mail sack videos are going to work. This will either go up after this video, or it came just before this video. I don't know. I haven't edited them, so I don't know. But this came in the mail. This is a plush of the Turtle Pope from Elden Ring. It's good stuff. Look at that little happy Turtle Pope. Look at him. He's got a name, but I just call him Turtle Pope because I don't know what his name is. His name's Muriel or something. I don't know. Turtle Pope. Anyway, I got nothing else. Happy Halloween. I think this video is going to go up close to Halloween. It's not Halloween now. I'm filming it, and then I'm going to edit it, and it'll go up. But I think this is going to go up near Halloween, so happy Halloween, and shit. Turtle Pope!